Call DEP.
Okay, so I called DEP to ask them, they said they haven't heard from you, they don't know anything about this plan. I called the.
Well, it's been 2 years.
Hang on, so I saw back then too, we reached out to them, and they didn't know what we were talking about then.
Who?
So if you're telling me, that I guess the prior administration, so if you're telling me that this old board that was sitting here was okay with that, that's complete news to me and everybody in this room. Because for years, we've been told that
I'm not gonna put Norm on the spot, and Norm sat through meetings. I'm just
Okay.
saying, whatever.
That's fine, I'll talk to Norm later, I'm
Fine.
just saying, I called the DEP, they weren't aware of any of
Well,
this.
DEP is a very big place, and I could get Fred to tell you who talked to who.
Members of the board, Tim, members of the public, this is premature. The fact of the matter is, and if you want to ask your solicitor, I'm sure she will confirm that I'm not misstating the law. If you want to ask your wastewater treatment, or your wastewater consultant to the extent that he knows, I'm sure he will confirm that I'm not misstating the law. We have submitted a sewage facilities planning module, that application or submission, that contemplates this method of treating sanitary sewer.
Do you have
that
that
is
Mike, tonight? Do you have that with you tonight
We
too?
submitted it on November 1st.
Okay, because the one I looked at, I didn't see any permit numbers on it or anything like that.
Gentlemen, ma'am, this is premature. The law is clear. You submit your sewage facilities planning module. That gets reviewed, it gets forwarded to DEP for consistency with your Act 537 plan. If it requires an amendment to the Act 537 plan, you go through the amendment process for land development. That's what a sewage facilities planning module does. Preliminary plan gets approved. Applicant then moves forward to pursue what's called a Part 2, a water quality management permit with DEP as a condition of preliminary land development approval. The case Morris versus South Coventry Township is very, very clear, and Vicki, please jump in if you think I'm misstating the law, that you get preliminary land development approval, then you go get your permits from DEP and PennDOT, etc. It's not, you go get your permit number from DEP,
Mike, do you
and then you,
understand what
excuse me,
you're
and then you
doing?
include
You're
that.
asking me to approve
And
things.
I'm not
No,
asking you to
please.
approve anything,
You're
sir.
asking me to take into consideration what you're saying here, but you didn't bring anything here
We
to
submitted,
show it.
we submitted on November 1st an application packet under a cover letter from our engineer, which expressly includes item number 15, 5 copies of the sewage planning module prepared by Ebert Engineering dated October 23rd, 2024. If the township didn't have that reviewed, because it didn't have a wastewater treatment consultant at the time and didn't retain one until January of 2025, that is not the applicant's issue.
Mike, is there
applicant's
something there that
issue-
says that he's filed with the DEP and he has a permit already?
He has not filed with DEP, but they submitted.
You
they
cannot
submitted a plan.
file with the DEP
Can
until
we
you have
have
a
one
planning
answer
module.
at a time? Can you let him answer, please?
Yeah, they submitted a partially completed planning module for us to review.
Okay, okay.
And as far as we're aware, no review of that has taken place. That's another issue.
Until the township approves the planning module, we can't even submit a permit application to DEP for anything. Not even the planning module, far less the sewer plant. So to come in with permit numbers is just off base because you couldn't get them.
Come in with some type of interaction would have been
You
better.
can't apply, they won't accept an application.
Members of the board, hang on one second. Members of the board, that interaction is called the sewage facilities planning
What
module.
were you saying, Vicki? I'm sorry.
We need to get back to the main part
Yeah.
of the discussion and not these shoots that we're going off of.
I'm just trying to figure out how to approve something that I don't really see anything on.
It's your solicitor's obligation to inform you of what the law is.
Mike,
I would ask-
Mike, I
excuse
don't
me.
need you to tell me.
I would
this
ask
is
you,
a job.
I would ask you,
Mike,
Let's-
Mike,
ask
I need
the
you to
solicitor what the
stop.
state of
Mike,
the law is.
listen to what I'm
If you're
telling
going
you,
to
Mike.
deny
Gentlemen.
this, by all
Mike.
means,
Hey,
please go
Mike.
ahead.
Both of you, stop it.
Hey,
This
Mike.
isn't getting us anywhere.
The law is
In good
clear.
faith, Mike, you're gonna sit here and you're gonna participate like an adult.
I've given you our
So my
presentation.
question is,
Stop.
with the sewage, how am I to make a decision when I don't have anything in front of me? So you're telling me this other system has to go away because it's no good? That's
We're
what
not
I'm
asking for.
Tim, hang on a second, stop. Let me make clear what we are here about. We are not here asking you to approve the preliminary land development application. You are not in a position to approve it. You're also not in a position to deny it. What we're here asking you tonight is not approve this. Under no circumstances would I come here and ask you to approve this with this review letter out here, and we haven't even resubmitted. What I'm here asking you tonight to do is not to deny it. Those are two different things.
Okay.
Can we,
Where's it gonna discharge into?
Bill,
Where's the sewage gonna discharge into? That's what I wanna know.
Be in your planning module, you're just waiting for a review from your consultant. It's in there.
but where is it gonna discharge
It's
to?
in the planning module.
But you don't know, so you don't
I
know
don't know the
sitting
answer off the top of my
tonight.
head. I mean, this is 100 pages of plans.
But they're
100
your
pages of
plans,
recons.
Tim.
Huh?
They're your plans.
I don't know every detail on the plans memorized. How would I know that?
So-
Answers at the planning commission.
Where was it? I wasn't there.
I thought you stated at the planning commission where it was gonna discharge to and.
Well, it's some
Something about-
stream below there, but I don't know the name of the stream or exactly where. or-
Yeah, let's just use context. Here's the wastewater treatment plant. This
Stream right below it.
information is outlined in the application that we submitted to the township more than 3 months ago. The fact that the township's consultants haven't reviewed that yet is not the applicant's fault. But nevertheless, as a lawyer, I can look at this and use some common sense and say, here's an unnamed tributary to Swamp Creek. It's a perennial stream. Here's the wastewater treatment plant. If I had to guess where the wastewater treatment plant was going to discharge, I would say somewhere along this perennial stream.
But how is what I'm saying to you. There's land down there.
There's a pipe, because there's a
The
pipe.
people own. Hey, Tim,
No, we own we own the creek, in that area.
You own from where the plant is proposed down to the creek. You
Yes.
own all that.
Yeah.
Yes, here's the property line right
Yeah,
there.
see the property line on where the creek is on the plan? It shows it on our property. Long section of it on our property.
Tim, I know the property owner below that.
Well, I own part of the creek, so can I not, why would I cross his property?
Because his property's directly below you before you get to the creek.
No,
Do you see the plan? Here's the creek on my property.
Here's the creek.
He's showing you where the creek is
Here's
located.
the
On my
property.
property.
Is that not Swamp Creek?
Where's the current one discharged to?
Same area.
So they're gonna allow 2 plants to discharge there?
No, they have to go to the old plant, remember? It has to come out. That's in the permit for the home. They know that. I met with them, they know this.
And I haven't read the planning module submission, but I've been doing this long enough. I would be very surprised if the decommissioning of the Mennonite plant is not outlined in the planning
It's
module
required
submission.
and it's in there.
It is, but we requested any agreements that.
Right.
Do you have an agreement with them at least?
Again, it's been requested, and we have to be given an opportunity to revise and resubmit. When we resubmit, we will include a response. That response will either be, here's the written agreement, or it will be, we're in negotiations with the Mennonite property to decommission, or it will be something along those lines.
What you said at the planning commission. You
What?
said at the planning commission you had an agreement with Fred.
I said I met with them.
Yeah.
They have to. DEP is requiring them to tie into our plan. It's not a choice. I don't need their approval. They need our approval. We'll work with them, but it's in their permit. Their permit expires when this plant goes online. That's it. It is done.
And if
They have
this
no
doesn't
choice.
get approved, Tim, then what's your second option here? If that doesn't.
Well, they can keep using their plant. If there's
I
no new
understand,
sewer.
but where do you discharge it?
That's not what we're proposing. What we're proposing is a
DEP
community.
will give the permit.
Okay.
What we're proposing is a community on-lot disposal system. If DEP ultimately rejects that, then we'll have to figure out some other alternative, or we won't be able to develop the property.
No, again, the planning commission, it's not what you said.
What they said?
Planning commission said you're gonna take down Colonial Road down to New Hanover.
Okay, let me clarify.
They were welcoming
Hang on, Tim,
it, they
please.
wanted it, they
What?
wanted to buy it.
What we said was that we would explore a public option at that point in time, and Tim's discussions were leading him to believe that we would be able to send it to New Hanover. If that is not possible, if community on-lot is not possible, then we would look at some configuration of building lots with individual sand mound systems. If that's not possible, then the property can't be developed. You have to have sewer to develop property. This is all premature, though. This is a preliminary plan submission with a
Hold on, Mike,
perfect...
stop for a second. Our court reporter has an error. Hold on.
Not technology.
I know, right?
Hold on, it's not going away, whatever the error message is. Hold that thought.
What do you expect?
You gotta come back this way, 'cause I don't wanna knock your kids out. What did you do? Oh, still error message, that's not good. What did you-